Across Sussex, students are today receiving their exam results at the end of a very unusual academic year. While some students did go into schools and colleges to collect one of these very familiar brown envelopes, some students had to stay at home to receive their results via phone or via email. Even more unusually, students this year are receiving their results after not sitting a single exam. After the coronavirus pandemic forced this summer's exams to be cancelled, teachers were told to submit the grades they thought their students would have received if they had sat the papers. Exam boards were then to moderate the results to ensure they were not significantly higher than in previous years. After a late announcement by the Education Secretary Gavin Williamson, students were told they could use their mock exam results as a basis for an appeal, meaning some students, even after receiving their results, still face uncertainty.
It's a very confusing time. There's obviously been a late change. Everything's a bit up in the air. People aren't quite clear on how this is all working. So our job now is to really work decisively and closely with our students to make sure that we support them to get the best possible grades. If their mock grade is different to their grade they've been given, and we've provided all of our students with those two grades, then we can support them in making sure we get the best grade for them. And then, of course, have those conversations alongside them with universities to make sure that we support our students into the right next steps for them.
And economically speaking too, we are once again in a recession, and recessions do disproportionately affect the young people in our society. Are you concerned about the prospects for your students as they leave your doors and head into the job market?
We know it's a very unique recession, based on very, very specific circumstances. So I think our advice to young people would be to look at all of the training options, because recovery will come. There will be certain sectors that will recover faster, but we know, in the southeast, the digital sector is a very strong one. It will grow, it will thrive, and to look at all the options. So we, again, really want to support students to benefit, or to really to look at their own choices and unique skills, but to be very mindful of where those sector trends are coming. So it's it's a delicate balance, but we are very concerned because we know recessions hit and affect young people the most.
So do these students from East Sussex College think that they received fair results?
I think it's been a little unfair towards me, because I was predicted 2 A's and a B, but I got 2 B's and a C, so it's kind of one whole grade down what I was expecting. But it's been a bit of a crazy time, so I don't know how to go about, going changing that, or if I can even do anything about that, if that makes sense.
Because all of my subjects were coursework and sketchbooks, so it was all of our work would be done in college with college supplies, which I don't have at home. So it was a bit unfair that I didn't get to do as much as I could have because I was at home. So then I feel like that maybe they could have looked at it a bit closer and marked it a tiny bit higher, with that in mind, that we didn't really have the opportunities.
I think it's been very stressful for a lot of people, the uncertainty, as well as the fact when they announced that previous centre grades were being used. That was a very stressful time, because obviously how does, in effect, for the individual student, how do last year actually affect us in any way? But I think the government's done the fairest job they could.
While every results day leaves some students feeling happier than others, this results day more than any seems to have widened the division between those who are pleased and those who are disappointed. Olivia Marshall, Latest TV News.